Assalamu alaikum. It's wonderful to be here now. In some way, thank you very much, Principal Saab, for inviting us and to be part of this function, which, when I look back, I just think that it is going to be one of the remembered events among many that we had. Now, I think before I want to say something a little bit more, I think probably Principal Saab has advised me that we should first take the oath ceremony. So I would like to say a few words later, but I think first thing first. So I want all of the students of the first year to stand up and be ready for oath. Are you guys ready? Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So say after me, please. I wholeheartedly pledge my commitment to acquire the knowledge, skills and attitudes required for the practice of medicine with excellence and integrity. I will always seek new knowledge and be forever willing to teach what I have learned. I will acknowledge my limitations and my mistakes so that I may learn from them. I will respect all faculty members, fellow students, institutional staff, members, and patients. I will uphold the college code of conduct in its true spirit and conduct myself accordingly. I will help my fellow students in meeting their professional obligations. I will strive to alleviate suffering and use my skills to take care of all in need without any bias or discrimination. Even under duress, I will not use my knowledge or skill against humanity. I will place the need of my patients above my own and to uphold my responsibilities. I will maintain my own well-being and the well-being of whom I interact with. I commit myself to a life that will bring appreciation and honor to my family, my noble profession, my college, and my country. और खुदा आपके साथ हो इसमें बैठे तशरीफ रखें। Okay, so I think having heard from the Principal Saab about what is going to be done by the college, I think there is not much more to say, but I just want to first of all formally congratulate the students and their parents for being, in a position that you are here in one of the prestigious colleges, I think, of the country. And I think you need to keep in mind also that you have come here purely based on your merit. So this is something that I think this college has always taken the pride that even when there was not a central induction, we had the honor to get every student on merit. And I think we at no stage deviated from that practice. So you should really remember this. This is very important in Pakistan situation. The other aspect that, being a new entrant into this profession, I think that number of things which I wanted to, some of the things which I wanted to say have very eloquently elaborated by your principal. And I'm very grateful for that, that the things that you need to keep in mind. I think I just want to say a couple of things. That in medicine, as you just saw read in the oath, there are three components. The clinical, you come here for knowledge, you come here for skills, and you come here for attitudes. And I think out of that, the area which Dr. Ahmed Shuja emphasized is development of right attitude to be a doctor that he wants, he's dreaming about. And I think that's what you need to focus on. I think we are at a time, we are in an era where the trust of the doctors is not a great deal. This morning, one of our trustees was mentioning that the trust of the doctors is at a low ebb. And I think it's important for us to be aware about this, that you have to create that trust. And that you do by developing the right attitudes, the right behavior. You need to develop professionalism. All those abstract ideas that make a human being that we are, different from the animals. And that's why we are called the Ashraful Makhluqat, and I think that's what we need to develop that. So remember those, and I will not dwell too much on that. Apart from this, I thought this may be a good opportunity for me. I think in this presentation, our students have introduced you the basic sciences, your faculty. But I just want to take this opportunity today also to introduce you and acknowledge the faculty that we have here, a wonderful faculty that we have who are sitting with here, and I just want to identify them, and I'll request them that if they can maybe raise hand and stand up so that all these students who have just arrived and their parents could identify. And I think it will take a few minutes, but I would really love that if our faculty can be identified there. Most of our faculty is sitting over here. I think you have already seen the very senior professor, Tasaddaq Hussain, professor of anatomy. Yes, professor sitting there. Thank you very much. Professor Khumaira Ahsan, the professor of physiology. Madam is here. Yes, the rest of faculty is over here. Thank you very much. Professor Iqbal Mughal is our professor of forensic medicine, and also he is the principal of Allied Health Sciences. Professor Muhammad Tahir, professor of pathology and head of department. Professor Zulfqar Hassan, he's professor of pharmacology. Professor Muhammad Himayu, who is our professor of anatomy, biochemistry. Professor Fayyaz Atif, who's professor of community medicine. And Professor Nahid Tawakkal, professor of anatomy. So, these are our basic sciences faculty. Thank you very much, and I appreciate that you stood up for this. And on the clinical side, in fact, you will learn that although in the first 2 years, most of the teaching happens in basic sciences, but in fact we have a plan to introduce the clinical sciences even before that. So you will be exposed to the patient, inshallah, right in the first 2 years. And for that, it's so important for you to know whoever the clinical sciences heads, heads are, the department of head of departments, or member of the college council. So I will start with the Professor Taiba Majid. She is professor of gynecology and obstetrics. And I also want you to keep in mind that Professor Taiba is our chief operating officer. She is looking after the hospitals in our CPT teaching hospital here and the BIT hospital in Kasur. Then we've got a Professor Zahid Ahmed. He's professor of radiology and he's head of department. Thank you, sir, Professor. Professor Amir Mia is professor of surgery. I think probably he was operating and that's why he was not able to come. Professor Nayab Haider, he is our professor of medicine. Professor Fakhr Zaman, professor of pediatrics. Professor Fawaz Shafiq, who is professor of medicine. Professor Tanveer Akhtar Bhatt, he is our professor of anesthesiology. Professor Muhammad Tanveer Anwar, he is a professor of surgery. I think he is again, I think, BIT operating. Professor Muhammad Ishaq, he is a professor of ENT. Again, you could see that surgeons have to be, when they are seeing the patient, that is a priority, and I think that you need to keep in mind. Professor Nasira Anayat is professor of ophthalmology. And Professor Mariam Richards, professor of obstetrics and gynecology. Professor Naveed Ahmed is associate professor of plastic surgery. And Professor Junaid Rasool is a professor of associate professor of psychiatry. And Professor Sabiullah, he is the associate professor of urology. So I know that some other faculty members are there, but I thought that I will introduce some of them. Thank you very much for the faculty for coming to this meeting. And this college, this hospital is really under the leadership of the principal, runs in a smooth way only because they are very dedicated and they are very much part of this project. Thank you very much, my faculty. I'll do that. So, behind all that, I just want to again mention my principal, Ahmed Shuja Khan, who started this project, when this project started. And I think about the project, in fact, I'm going to ask later on chairman to say, how this project is about. I'm not going to dwell too much on that. But thank you very much, Ahmed Shuja, for leading all this. I just want to take this opportunity just to mention a few other things that we want to do in this, in relation to Health and Education Foundation this college is under the umbrella of the Health and Education Foundation, and this is one of the projects. We have also now strengthened our allied health sciences, and in fact, as I just said, that the principal of allied health sciences is Dr. Mughal, but we have also, we started the course of doctorate in physiotherapy And Dr. Arif, I think, if he's here, is leading that department. Arif, are you there? Yes, Dr. Arif is the head of department for that. So we want that in addition to the medical school, we want to develop allied health sciences because, you know, the spine in some way of allied health, of the medicine delivery is allied sciences. Without that, you cannot really provide a good care to the patients. So several opportunities in relation to health, allied health sciences will come in future. We have developed several courses. We already have a College of Nursing which is delivering 2-year course, and I think we are going to go on to the BSc course very soon. In addition, we have the proposal to enlarge the number of students from 100 students to 150 students, and we are hoping that we will be able to achieve that by next year. In addition, under the leadership of our trustees and our chairman, we are going to consider next year or the year after the School of Pharmacy and also the School of Dental Medicine. So we are hoping that this will be something that will come in future. And I think this may be a good opportunity, and welcome Dr. Uzma, that you have arrived, one of our trustees. This may be a time that I introduce you to my trustees and to our chairman. You know, any project that develops, unless you have got a dedicated group of people, a team, it cannot function, it cannot survive. And we have been lucky that when this project started, we had very dedicated people. And I want to here acknowledge the contribution of all the trustees. And one of the trustees in particular I want to mention is Professor Suhail Chuktai, who was the Dean of the medical school just before I started. Took up this role here as the Dean. Professor Suhail Chuktai has done an enormous amount of work for the college, and we really appreciate. He's our trustee. He could not be here today, and I salute him for all the work that he has done. So I was saying that I think the details will be done by the chairman, you know, about this. But I just want to take this opportunity to request of some of our trustees to say a few words, give a few words of wisdom to our students, say anything that which is you think is important for us to grow, because with their opinion, with their backing, this organization will enlarge. So I am going to introduce you Professor Ishtiyaq Rizvi, who is our trustee, who recently has joined us about a year ago. He is a very renowned surgeon, consultant surgeon in England, and he has been engaged in teaching both in this country and abroad. And I think his presence in our organization will add a great value in many forms. So Ishtiyaq, would you like to say a few words?